Fully, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. You must maintain car insurance. If I find that you're driving, you don't have car insurance or you don't have a valid license, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire lawyers, sir?
Not right now.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. I need to know everything about you and I'll take a look. We're going to have you sign documents here promising us you're not going to drive without a valid license and insurance. And after that, I'll take a look at your application. If you want to head on over to Deputy Miranda, he'll give it to you, sir.
That's going to be state bond condition?
Yes, please.
Go ahead and sign for your reciprocals. All right, Judge, page 13, Ibarra, come on up.
You are Josue Ibarra.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ibarra, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Sit under 21 with Your Honor.
Okay, is that all you have?
I mean, Your Honor's feelings on it, it's,
Yeah.
so. Officers were on 3/24/2025, officers were on routine patrol with like witness. Witness stated to officers that he observed a defendant assaulting a female in a apartment complex. Witness told officers that the witness saw the defendant displaying a firearm towards the female. Officers located the defendant while the defendant was yelling at the female. Officers told the defendant to lay on the ground. Defendant stated he did not have any weapons on him. Officers conducted a pat down. Defendant felt a bulge in the defendant's ankle. Officers recognized this to be a firearm. Officers retrieved the handgun from the defendant. Female advised officers that she was not assaulted. NCIC, TCIC check revealed the firearm was reported stolen. Officers observed that the defendant was previously arrested, also previously dealt.
Did they take?
They took.
Okay. Mr. Ibarra, I'm going to find that there's no probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir?
18.
How much? How
18.
18?
Yes, sir.
God forbid you have a weapon and you do something where you create irreparable damage, like use it in a situation. You need to be very careful in this life. You only have but one life. You have a gun and you use it and there's something wrong, your life could change in a moment's notice. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Very careful. All right, just hang tight for me, will you? Please. Thanks.
All right, Judge, next is page 26 and 27. Gergaro, Alex.
Mr. Surovov,
Yes, sir.
you are charged with evading arrest or detention and driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to 300 Memorial City Way, which is the Memorial City Mall, for a male detained on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. Defendant was observed by officers as well as several security officers driving erratically in the parking lot by failing to stop at a designated stop sign in that parking lot. The defendant was observed on security cameras stepping out of his gray BMW sedan, expose his genitalia, and urinate next to his rear driver's side tire. Officers made contact with the defendant and smelled the strong odor of alcohol, slurred speech, and observed 2 empty containers in the vehicle. Officers detained the defendant. Defendant was erratic.
Drinking while driving?
Containers in the car yard. Defendant was erratic once placed in the back of the patrol vehicle and continuously banged his head on the window. Defendant spit at a security officer, which made contact with that security officer's left cheek. Defendant denied drinking. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted with the following results: 4 of 6 HGN, 5 of 8 long, 3 of 4 one-leg stand. As far as the baiting goes, Your Honor, officers attempted to grasp the defendant in order to detain him while he was being detained, to try to put handcuffs on him. The defendant was able to slip out and evade it for approximately 100 feet before he was once again detained and placed in the handcuffs at the back of the car.
I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward in both of your cases. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive whatsoever for any reason, and I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I am now sending you for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your body. If you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You were to come back, and then we will continue on your bond conditions. If you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, you better address it, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you, and I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand? As it stands now, you will get a scram device that I'm going to put on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming alcohol or anything else at any time. And I'm going to drug test you like crazy. At the first instant you use anything, I will make your bond so high, you'll have patches of hair falling out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive, and then we'll send you for a drug test, and then we'll have you come back. Vic, do you mind reaching out to the Mac for,
Yes,
please?
ma'am. That was the last one for now. We're waiting on the interpreter for the plea.
Yes.
Good running. Your name, Arizona Show. You
Fleischer. I'm going to curfew on him as well, so he's not out in the middle of the night as well.
Yes, Judge.
Please.
Would you like the 926 or the 77?
96.
Yes, Judge.
Hey, he has a prior DWI that was just dismissed. What was it? What was the nollie for?
Gonzalez?
I also left out the number, Your Honor. It was a BAC. It was a test blow.
You
don't?
And what is this one here? Because
That was this one.
what is it? Because the prior one is above a 15 as well.
Prior was dismissed. On the dismissed, now Your Honor.
Did you sign at the bottom? I'm sorry.
Insufficient evidence of the defendant's guilt. You don't want very
What was the breath test on that? If you don't mind.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean?
Okay, thanks.
There's also no container challenge.
You have a good one? So I'm just one friend. I'm not going to go down about it. In order to try that about liability insurance and independence. You, did you say that? You can inside the bottom as well.
Ready for this one?
Raise your right hand. You didn't belong to Alabama?
Yes.
You sound sworn affirm that you will not have nor vehicle about how to affect the child. It's been known that months ago, when the scene is not.
Seal for the record.
Countdown. And. Page 54.
With my dad.
You're not making any.
I mean, I just don't know what to pay me, so I wish I could tell you what.
Is it all cash?
Yeah.
You found with me last month?
I didn't work with them last month. I'm working with them this weekend.
So you've been out of it?
Yeah.
Look over everything. This is always. I'm just looking at it right now and I'm not getting.
How long have you been for?
I've been for 10 years on and off. I just, it's cash. I don't, he doesn't give me you know what I mean? I don't get a just stuff from by that.
You don't want this, that should go.
He's gonna call you back out at night.
Oh,
Put him down, it's like something.
yeah.
You can work in this.
Yeah, you put
No, I do that to go.
Okay.
Can't let him. So just at the top, you can put it down, I had you make it, if you, oh, when you're last
Okay,
time.
then just put it up. I don't know. I don't need it. Yes. I'm working with him. I'm working with him this weekend. I haven't worked with him for a while. So I have.
Right there, thank you.
Yeah. Or today.
There's right. You saw me start on the light. Now,
Yes.
you'll be right here.
Yes.
You can see. You're both positive.
Judge, this plea is gonna be on page 28. Basket.
Yes.
Show me the name one more time.
We like to stand up. Hold on. Pick it up.
Oh, God. Second time that's happened. Sorry, guys. I can't go anywhere without them being here.
I would feel like I Over.
Thank
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Okay. What was I doing for that
I'm from Galveston, palm trees everywhere, so there's roaches everywhere.
Right, yeah.
My brother would say,
Texas.
What about? Because I would scream and I go, me? He goes, okay then. Why are you afraid? I'm like, okay. So alert. Saque las manos del bolsillo. Nomás escucho la pregunta. Usted,
Shh. You are Guillermo Vasquez.
Guillermo
Vasquez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated.
delito de
You're
conducir.
facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you have done. You need to understand that you're making a lifetime decision today. This DWI will now go on your record. What we are doing today, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. So if you're not in this country with permission, you do that kind of time, I can almost guarantee that you will get an immigration detainer. Do you understand?
Yes.
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to have a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never take it off. Is this what you want to do?
¿Qué desea hacer? Esto es lo que usted desea hacer.
Sí, sí, sí.
Yes, yes,
Sí, sí, sí.
How do you-
yes, yes.
The offense of driving while intoxicated, guilty or not guilty?
Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty, guilty,
Find
guilty.
you guilty,
Te voy a hallar
all the
culpable
agreement.
enseguida
I want you to understand, Mr. Vasquez, that if you're ever pulled over
Si usted lo para,
from now in the future, first thing an officer does is they're going to look at your record. If they see that you have a prior DWI, they roll to your window and they smell alcohol, it's probably not going to go well for you. So I would never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car.
No, no,
te metas en un auto.
no.
Your lawyer is asking me to waive the mandatory fines and fees. That's around $3,000 to $4,000. I will do it because this is his first offense. If you come back here with a second DWI, it's $6,000 of fines and fees and a minimum of 30 days in jail. So get a clue. Do you understand?
¿Usted lo entiende?
Sí, lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
Look, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Gracias.
Thank you. Y no te van bien por mira las conexiones minerales. Entonces, te metió en la oficina de foro de el papelito sí, de la sala.
Yes.
No te pero es una prueba. Mira, pero no te vas a no más mira para atrás.
No.
Dale orden y vamos a esperar primero. No, you don't have this.
And it was a 9-day, suspension inspection.
Hmm?
It was a 9-day suspension.
Yeah.
Because
So.
In what? How long do you say you get? Okay. Finally, this video replicating right here. We put on top of it.
Jesse.
Good morning, Judge.
Hey.
Good looking guy. Mr. Hernandez Quintero's on your docket. DWI. The defendant had an accident involving police cars. He had insurance, but no one never made a claim on this. And everybody went through their own insurance.
Okay.
2 rips were done and they have $1,000 deductible.
Yeah.
The defendant was agreed to pay the $1,000 for it.
It's two.
2,000. 1,000 each.
What page is this on? I don't see it.
Hernandez.
13.
Hernandez.
And Your Honor,
I see it. It's
the offer that you conveyed would be 2,000 in restitution upfront, and then I would also. I know.
yeah, but it's 200 days, so it needs to happen like now. So where are we with the money?
Oh, we can get it done in 30 days.
Oh, it's 30 days. It's 200 days now.
Oh, then give it 2 weeks and we'll have it back.
If he doesn't have it done by that time, he'll have to do it through probation then. you
Sounds
know?
good?
So 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Set the plea to pay the, do you already
Just send
have,
me that.
do you have the restitution?
Send me the restitution.
You have the,
That's that.
Yes, we'll do it today.
see in 2 weeks.
Outreach the 14 through the 16.
Yep. Do you want to call him?
It's fine and confused.
Sorry. Should be here, run around.
Three notorious.
Okay, go ahead and sign.
Easy one.
You have no marketing. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Ross. I did.
Walker, we waiting to come. They haven't said it. You want to give it another week?
I saw your Justice Ross, I'm sorry, I don't think so. Yeah, let me go where.
He's got a, felony probation. He's at the bond, they haven't given him a full date. Oh, yeah.
Yes, it will. You can see the kind of deed, it's again, kind of do one.
Is it Tuesday? Perfect.
Oh.
You're done with it? You said no.
Yes, but let me have a little comment.
Okay.
I didn't do that. I said if you like that, then I gotta convert it. I'm just gotta.
We make their phone, everything's on side, please, that is time.
Yes.
Yeah, I was some of them, what did they? They're very,
Thank you.
Um.
Sparks signed on to the fugitive case.
So when I called her yesterday, to ask her about it, she said that that was a mistake. She didn't mean to sign on to the fugitive, so I reappointed and Sims got the case, James, but
Okay.
he didn't come back, so I wrote it for the name.
Is he back there? You guys got McGee?
Yeah.
Got it? Okay.
Pretty sure the rest is listening. Kind of stairs. Sorry, I'm not true. All of these ordered. But the chunky, like emotional stories, and then had to go to take that and then it's just the one with water, like actually. All right, sorry. I'm good.
Also, the Facebook view. Just have a-
Ah. That's why. It's a court date, okay? And it's a court date. Why was this in the field?
Just Judge Sanford, it's still there.
That's.
I've been trying to move him as I see him.
I'm good. Dang,
I just thought she did it on him.
I wasn't, yeah, I have to, I just anything now, it's gone. You know, that I see what it's for. I thought it was before.
Yes. I'm not, I'm just, yes, sir. Yes, you got it, yes. Okay. Yes, you get your ties. Yes.
Is that you sniffing like crazy over there? Oh, I think it's probably time to send him for a drug test.
For the judge?
Gentleman in the black. What's his name?
Gonzalez?
Yeah, that's it.
Definitely. Gonzalez.
I don't know what's this. Like, it doesn't show this way, it only shows the courtroom on Zoom. Like, right, like it should be here, well, my.
What's the deal? You get your dash. His discovery of the very, I'll just put the policy. All right, that is, May 29 to the fall. I'm sorry, not to the 15th. Defendants consider others.
But you are a defense, and I think. Sorry. Jesse Ross. Not, but.
To try to, they've watched the house meeting, so.
What do you mean?
No. But. Township, no, that, I'm sorry.
Where are you?
I can email somebody.
He's here. He just stepped out. Gonzalez, David? Okay, so resolution is definitely on over there, check in, the center for the executive, drug testing, and drugs and something like that. Right, fine.
Give them the lands, all the nursery lands, that's all in the finance. Really good.
You might be a second over November. This is like right next door, less than a minute walk. Just checking with them, they'll be expecting you again when you're done, go back and check in. Sorry? Yes. That's very.
Porque va a continuar, esto es junio. Is it what? Take another one. Oh, read the we were talking about, so. What is it called? There's when I put my best in, that's all. So that would, what you wait. Who's putting them out there?
Nobody has figured it out. You can use it.
Uh-oh. Thank you. Looking here. Sure. I'm looking for my pen.
Where did you put it?
Well, no, I want my pen, because it had all my, there was a personal life.
He's there. Judge, you're there.
There's it. It's there?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ron.
You're welcome.
You need me? Hey, talk to me. Hi, good morning.
Side of this.
Say it again?
Page one. Of this,
Okay,
Coaching for a short reset. We submitted his mitigation package, awaiting a response on that. And we also received a new offer, for him this morning.
what offer did you get?
Offer for time served on the trespass and dismissed in the phone.
Today it's clear trial. So guys, you got an packet on Abbas?
Hold on, Matt.
She gave you some kind of mitigation packet, I guess, I'm guessing.
No, I only.
X ABBEX. Okay, pull up this one. But you're gonna come back to.
Yes, right now, as soon as I'm done here, because I want to fix this.
Yeah,
I'm right now, I'm coming back.
Take a look right now.
No, I'm coming right back.
I didn't know.
Okay, Blasa, I'll go with you. Let me just.
Okay. Abigail Balance.
Oh, she should
Richard,
I'll
I'll step down.
Yeah, let me kind of go to run to court 8.
Yes, sir.
Oh, is it? Exchange with phones.
I'm down on board.
Well, he just comes from court.
Yes.
I'm sorry? I'm like going to. No, no, sir. If you, want something for dinner, you're fine. So I can do it before you, have another hour.
When do you get your barcode?
I get the results back in like 2 weeks, so God willing.
2 weeks? Wow, that's quite a bunch.
I think we're back to where we are.
Okay. It's not like it's- I feel like when you're waiting for it, it's probably true.
Oh.
It's like every day. Just like-
I'm not allowed to be happy because when I think about.
They want to like you.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of these off this one.
I would come on.
Nice. So you were, one of the other preacher officers told me you're gonna be in what?
Yes.
Last week? For like less than a week.
Right.
Yes.
It was fun.
The preacher officer in there told me that I was getting his,
Okay.
mostly.
Interesting.
Did you like one of those?
Yeah.
It's very, very chill quarters.
Yeah.
He's just cool, like, he just has a cool vibe about him.
He seems very understanding.
Yeah, he's really good. I'll keep an eye out for it. What is the color? Is it?
It was like a goldish brownish.
Okay, if I see it all, is May 13.
Oh, it's in there?
13. All right, meet the parents. Bye. I don't like it.
Something changed.
You found it?
Yes, I found it. Thank you. Nah.
How'd you go from court 6 all the way over here? You do this big circle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheridan, you ready for yours?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I would not. I came back from Judge Fairline. And all.
Yes, he's just helping out and I don't really like that. No, I think maybe we'll be away for the parents and then we'll stay. I know. Somebody put it under my.
Okay.
They're all of the.
Yes.
In real life.
Oh, right. So it's so much like, the trial documents.
But I needed it until it's done. Yeah.
Power wash? One separate trial? Yeah, that'll be good after some. Okay. And so we're going to sign two for all of us. The first one's going to be.
Hey, we can wait for the trigger.
And yes, I'll meet you today. Yeah. And then I've seen you previously signed up for she's out there till later this year. So for the random testing, she's living in the 9 false station.
Yes.
It's starting tomorrow, you're gonna start sending text messages from the system and so all you need to do, you don't put all in this, you just need to respond by page 6, and then the line, you have issues with this, that they're very fast, like, oh, this, sign one more time for me, and if it's like, a lot, oh god, page 6. You know, page 7, hey. And I have your next week of June 3rd. And you do not need to read that, you need to make sure you come back and they'll let you know. What?
Yeah. I'm got it.
What's going on? My thing's kind of over.
Really good.
Bring him in.
It's around.
These, this for.
Yeah.
Because they always tell me to.
I want to say. So let's make it.
Board 10.
It's gonna be outstanding.
Alright, can you check if you want to call?
Sorry, that's all right, no problem.
He's helping out for 8 right now.
Last name was Felix? That's the call. Hot dog?
Yes, right, on the top of it.
No, start something in there. You're facing this.
On the back, on the big side.
I have type well now. Oh.
Discovered
Variation.
we're doing the office.
Yeah.
How is the neighbor?
Oh, I see. Okay. I surround.
It's not like a full one.
It's
not really. I went next door. He said just put them on. Sure.
Yes.
I have MAK, and then I insurance. We just got a box. So, yeah, like 30 days a month, but we must.
So. Right in 2 different boxes. Make sure you for Mexican.
I will take maybe 30.
All this stuff.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Well, I'll just say, instead of two, so let's do. Already cleared up. Perfect. I'll do your
So we got that. So
Yes. Yeah, where did I see?
And she's also Florida.
Officer Gordon against his investigation. All this time.
Yeah. No, 216. Okay.
That is
Yes.
just transparency.
And then
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, no, you're already getting
I don't think I will, but.
Okay. Thank you.
He gave the officers.
Yeah, you gave all.
Did I have to?
Because it was gonna be a, this, and, and put it like on. He's one, maybe if you look. What is the?
So, once the council said.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. I did see. One of them two play those. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Speak that short.
Crystal Metro. All right.
I was supposed to provide she's trying and going down. No. Yeah, I. They don't eat the whole shots. Oh, there, you know.
I was thinking it was a broadcast, and I think it broadcast out there, but it told me all the way. I should have known. Come on, Dennis, I got some shit. When I talked to chopping the ball over here.
I don't have names. Maybe.
But I don't know, but I talked to the felony prosecutor that was handling this. And she said it's all possible. She would be fine and listening and let her just.
Let me just check this for you. I don't know.
I understand, but I don't know if this is when her taking the 4 years.
So that's.
Let me go talk to her and say, can you get Sebastian to talk to her about?
I cannot see some trouble.
Oh, okay.
What case is it on?
It is on Judicial Spring.
Oh.
You. No, sorry, my apologies.
I'm gonna go and talk to her, who's watching her.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, Mitchell.
Yeah, definitely. Right first. Okay. So it also. Yeah. So good advice on. They get that for not too oh, my kids are really want to you know, we can get paid to slow down. My parents see. So it's like, always try to. And we'll do it's like, yeah, that's back. Good. That's great. It's only.
No, I want to go to Daisy.
Oh, you're right.
So they're going ahead and keep that place. So what happened? We were going to originally. Oh, there's
Yeah, I got that.
there was a whole one was began everything was.
Yeah.
So, no, about the
Guys have no ones from Lansing on this sheet.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah.
But holds here in Harrisburg.
All in the gym, they probably 10. I see the stairs.
I don't see our.
We usually talk.
Oh, I think he did.
There should be. What case will be? Well, not current, but for even that office.
Discovery complete. Oh, let's see, there's something. It's too far out there.
No, the only question.
I mean, yes. Yeah.
So Indiana's no longer playing.
Morning, Mr. Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
What's new, man?
I'm here on Anthony Arthur Lee.
What's the last name?
Arthur Lee.
Okay.
And we have received we haven't received an offer from the state, but all of the evidence is not in. We're dash cam videos.
What are you guys waiting on?
So. He's moving on.
So that's on Lee, Your Honor?
Arthur Lee.
Arthur Lee.
May 20th.
So Your Honor, it looks like a station video. I don't think it's gonna have dash station video. But it looks like we're missing stations. That's the next question.
Okay. We'll set you off 30 days, Mr. Williams. They're still waiting on video. If you don't have it by then, we're going to subpoena them.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Hang tight though, and let me get your date. Give me one
Okay.
second.
May 13th through the 15th.
We'll take the May 13th. It's fine.
Okay, we need the parents.
Okay, it'll still be waived on that time, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Got it. Have fun.
All right.
Hey,
you too.
Val.
Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
All right.
Hey, Judge, how are you?
Hey, man, what's new?
Oh, nothing much. Just sitting in lovely Liberty County, waiting to pick a jury. I am approaching on Alonzo Baldwin, Baldwin.
Got it. Okay.
Still relatively new case, Judge. It's from the end of December. It looks like the blood results are back. There's one video. I'm not sure if there's another video the state has come in, like a station video or anything, but
Baldwin.
Does look like we still waiting on station video and some dash cam.
Yeah, they're waiting. You're waiting on 2 videos, Val, so we'll just give you normal reset.
very well, Judge. And if Victoria's there, the 15th would be great.
Yeah, 13th to the 15th of May.
15th, please, Your Honor.
You got it.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
All right, have fun.
All right, thanks.
It'll still be waived too, all right?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, 5:20, wait the hearing is set.
So.
There's server Rob that we sent for a drug test. He's over there and the case manager is messaging me saying that he doesn't want to take his drug test yet because he was recently had a hand injury and he
I
was
don't
waiting
care.
on.
I want him to take a drug test right now.
I told her that he still needs a drug test or else his bond will be revoked. So
Yep.
hopefully that will get him to, but that's kind of what the delay is.
Okay, we'll see. Thanks. Doug,
I got
Dougie Fresh, what's up, man?
Have a off docket matter, talking about bond conditions. Chris has the cause number. I don't know what it is. Judge, it's cause number 255-470-9. Juan Villasana. It's a DWI first. He's got a prior deferred assault family violence, but that was dealt with. He came in here without a lawyer. He put no driving and a portable interlock on him, portable breath tester. We wanted to see, he is divorced, has 3 kids that are very active in sports. We'd like him to have the ability to drive just with an interlock.
You have alcohol in the car?
He did have an open container, Your Honor.
It's no problem. You know, I would, Mr. Villasana?
Your Judge, it's off docket. He's not
here.
He's not
Okay,
here.
yeah, I mean, what I wanted to see is some proactivity that we know that he realizes and appreciates the awesome privilege it is to drive. And I have a problem when you're at that age, you've got 3 kids, now you're drinking it and you allegedly have alcohol in the car. You know, the idea is to get them to learn to appreciate that it's just a privilege. It's not a right. All I want to see is a little proactivity that he appreciates it. And then I'm with you, you know, but him just coming, oh, I get it. I get it. That's not, you know, everybody does that. But creative proactivity, I'm with you.
Judge, he leaves home at 4 o'clock in the morning, gets at work at 4:45, gets home around 6:30. It's 18 miles each way with 3 kids with school's activity, son's soccer practice from 8 to 9:30, and then eating.
So it's been hurting.
It has. And it's a first time DWI and there's nothing else aggravating about it. The best tool to prevent it is an interlock in the car. Because if he's driving, the car won't, if he's drinking, the car won't start. So that's what we're requesting.
I get it. I'm not going to do it. I want to see some proactivity on his part that he gets and appreciates it is the privilege. And then I'm going to give it back to him without an interlock.
Okay.
But I want to see that he actually appreciates it and is proactive about it so that we know and he realizes this, wow, I mean, I get it.
What would that look like? Just
I don't know,
negative
just,
lows in his.
you know, just, I don't know, you know.
I don't have the words this morning. I'm not so articulate that I can express to you that his appreciation for it. He is suffering greatly. And seeing that his children are suffering because of his actions, he gets that. And I don't know how much more I could impact you with that, but we see it. And it's been what, a week or two? It's been about 2 weeks. And it's a severe impact, not just on his employment, but his family life. Already difficult situation with 3 kids.
Tell you, Doug, that now I am seeing more and more people with alcohol in the car while they're driving. And it really is just, it's mind numbing to think how elementary it is that you're not supposed to do something, you know, especially while you're driving at that advanced age.
My opinion is it's just an open container. He wasn't actively drinking it, but it was an open container. I'm just telling you, it's a first time DWI. It's not like he has a history of it. And
We don't know this.
what's that?
We don't know that, right? It's just how many
The
times.
presumption of innocence says unless there's
And-
evidence to the contrary, and there is no evidence to the
Get it. I
contrary.
understand. All I'm
So-
saying, I just want a little proactivity on his part that we know that he appreciates it, and then I'll give it back to him. But I'd like to talk to him as well,
Okay.
so that we realize, or so that we know that he appreciates it, and then I'll give it back to
Fair
him.
enough.
You know, really,
All right, we'll come back to you shortly.
please.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Hey,
Back on Abyss, I'm back on Abyss.
okay,
Yeah, Abyss.
yes.
The state has made an offer for 9 months deferred adjudication.
Was that not given to you initially? Okay? It's 206 days. So it's time to make a decision on, I mean, today it's plea or trial. So we need to know what he wants to do.
Yes, sir. I think he is interested in the deferred adjudication. We did want to approach you regarding the time.
So there is a TRAS, that's out. And my understanding is because the TRAS is already ordered, everything about it's work.
It was the report.
So.
They included the two cases in this.
Oh, he picked up a felony PCS with the first case.
Yes.
I see that it was dismissed. Was that pursuant to a PTI?
Let me get pulled up, but I believe it was, we didn't get lab back in time.
Oh, right. We're seeing so many of those. It's crazy.
What I have offered is a 9-month deferred.
Yeah, incomplete lab report.
What's that?
Incomplete lab. It's crazy how many cases get dismissed now just because they can't get the labs back.
It's frustrating. But with TRAS.
His wife,
Shh, TRAS is $30.
So his TRAS recommended community residential, followed by SAC, which is a high-risk caseload, they report once a week, and then IOP and SOP. He's not gonna be able to do that.
So why don't we do IOP, SOP, right? And then if he messes up, it goes to residential. Correct.
And
Like the,
Your Honor, if I may, I do want to let you know that he is already seeing a psychiatrist. I actually have a note from the psychiatrist. He's been seeing him since.
great.
July.
That's great. And I think that being that he's proactive about it is why he would not go into residential today, right? Where we will forego residential and use it as a sanction in the event that he tests positive, falls off the wagon or whatnot. So, but he'll still be required to do IOP and SOP now, so we know that he stays clean.
I've never had this happen before.
Yeah, write it up. Let's do it.
And we'll go with the 9 months.
I think 9 months is sufficient, because we can always extend. And, if he does well, right, we'll take him off and have the time. How long does it take to do IOP and SOP?
6 months.
Because I usually, if people do well, I take them off and have the time.
Okay.
But here, he would need to complete IOP and SOP. And if he does that successfully, no issues, he'll be done in 6 months.
Gotcha.
And just let him know.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's just say, hi, you ready? What's up?
Got a suppression hearing this morning.
Okay. State,
State witnesses are ready.
are you ready?
Yes, John.
Okay.
We're good?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll start it up.
Okay.
You guys playing for you all?
Judge, give me a moment to get my stuff together and I'll be right out.
Okay. Bless. Oh, are you here for something?
I'll be here, Guevara, Judge.
Council for reset.
You are Javier Guevara.
Yes.
Mr. Guevara, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you have done. You need to understand that you're making a lifetime decision today where this DWI will be going on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. This is important because if you get pulled over in the future, the first thing an officer does is they look at your record. And if they see that you have a prior DWI and they go to your window and they smell alcohol or they smell anything funky, it's probably not going to go well for you. And what we're doing today, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
Even if you have a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car because it is a humongous risk. Giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen or possible probation consequences, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law, and you give up the right to appeal. That's why I said, once you plead guilty, it goes on your record, it will be there forever. Knowing all this, do you still want to do this?
¿Tu declaración? No. Sabiendo todo, quieres seguir. Habiendo toda la información que le dio, pues, ¿quieres seguir? Yes.
Speak to the offense of driving while intoxicated, guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
One more thing you need to understand, Mr. Guevara. DWI is big business in Texas. There's a $3,000 surcharge that would normally apply to you now as a result of you pleading guilty. And if you don't pay it, every $100 you owe, you sit 1 day in jail. I will waive that for you now because we all make mistakes. But I'm telling you now, if you continue to make mistakes where you endanger my public, the next DWI, it is a $6,000 surcharge. And like I said, if you don't pay it, $100 that you owe, you sit 1 day in jail. Do you understand? If you want to get lit, take an Uber. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, Mr. Guevara. Hey. Hey guys, hey, what's up? All right.
I just came to say hello. Yeah, life is good.
Where are you these days?
Just had a trial.
Wait, you said civil? What do you mean you're civil?
I'm doing defense.
Really? So you completely, wow.
I have work-life balance.
And you get to go home?
Everybody goes home at night. Hey, listen, y'all have that trial?
Yeah, we're about to start a hearing.
Oh, okay. So I just want to say hello.
Yeah, good to see you.
I'm still getting text. No, not at all. My cousin just hit me up. She said, "It's you, my voice."
Yeah.
I'm glad I was smart enough to stay off camera. But it's good to see you.
You too. Josh, hey, ready?
Tom Wallace. I'm talking.
Okay.
So this is one, he lives in a group home, is accused of scratching another.
I remember. Yeah.
So all this say, basically, they'll dismiss it if he can do an apology letter. I just had, we'll get in touch with him, so I'm gonna go by in person to just, and it's my fault, so it's not his fault.
It's not your fault. What are you
Well,
talking?
the communication part, I've had some time to do it, I just haven't been able to get by it, but I do want to go by in person and just talk to him.
How long do you want?
You know, I could do maybe 1 week, Judge, I should be able to go by.
Okay, because he's had since December. We'll give you a week. If he's not here in a week or it's not dismissed, let him know. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Judge.
You got it. SFBF.
Okay. Josh, who was
I'm not sure.
Yeah, come on up.
As I'm approaching again for Mr. Moises Canales from yesterday, he's the one who had those the violations of PCI, testing positive for cocaine.
Okay.
And,
Yes.
The area, but he's here in court today. I just want to approach, I guess. How do you address the violation report?
Okay, so is it on docket today or no?
Judge, you settled for Wednesday,
What's the cause number if you don't mind?
it's 251-6928.
08?
6928.
On Marco Garcia?
No, Judge, it's Moises.
So 254-69.
251.
Oh, 251.
Nothing being this year. That's where all the.
So let me do this because I want to send an email. Why do they have to change everything, man? They just did Windows 11. How do I even send an freaking email? No, here we go. What is your email address?
It's my first and last name. It's kingsleyopara@gmail or kingsleylaw@gmail. So it's.
I have Kingsley Okpara Law at Gmail. Is that right? I'm going to send you an email. Let me include Judge Geist to see what they also want to do because it's really their program, you know? So. Do you have anywhere else to go? Can you go and then come back maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes? Let me send them an email and then I'll Okay. Hey, please.
We're approaching on Pavate Ferry.
Terry's the last name?
The state's entering a pre-signed waiver of extradition.
Okay, I'll sign it. Have you advised your client about the pre-signed waiver? Does he know about it? Yeah, okay. Do we need to speak to him or no? Oh, no? Okay. Got it. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to give this back to you. That's for you. All right, guys, we're going to start a hearing. We're going to be on the record. If you want to talk, please go outside. Are you, Ms. Hudson, are you ready on your plea?
Okay.
Jose, what is your guy's last name again?
Alfaro, ALFAR.
Okay. Has he signed his waiver of jury?
I don't recall.
We need to get that done. Huh?
I think you did.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Yep, I got it all.
And we do have a stipulation whenever we're ready as to some of the facts, just to.
Sure, of course.
Keep moving.
Maybe get some candy on there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Sunny life.
He'll be all sugared up.
Yeah.
That the agency is to look at it and everything is going to never heard of it. Well, usually they send them over to the or we have like them to count, but
No, we're going further. What do you need?
Down before recess.
Everyone, we are going on the record. If you need to talk, if you need to be on your phone, please go outside. All right, we are on the record in cause number 251-8785. Today is April 1st, 2025. It's approximately 11:03 in the morning. Guys, if I can have you announce yourselves for purposes of the record, starting with the state.
John Davenport, City, Your Honor. Jose Ceja for Mr. Alfaro.
Okay, are you in on this as well?
I'll tell you. Blame jurisdiction on behalf of the state of Texas, Your Honor.
Got it, okay. So for purposes of the record, we are here. Today is set for a dispositive motion to suppress on this DWI second. And we are all in agreement that it is a dispositive nature. So if state loses, you dismiss. If you lose, you end up pleading, correct?
Right, and I think we already have the plea worked out, which is a reduction to DWI first probation.
Okay, and Your Honor, that was a prior deal for the prior prosecutor that I'm honoring.
You're okay with it?
I'm honoring.
Okay. You said you had some stipulations that you want to go over.
Yes, Mr. Davenport and I have some stipulations regarding to the relevant times, just to speed up the testimony.
Okay.
And I think he's got them written down. I'm not sure if he wants to read them into the record.
You mind?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please.
At 3:40 a.m. on July 7th, the officers arrived on scene. At 3:44 a.m., the officers made contact with the defendant. At 3:46 a.m., the defendant was detained and placed in the officer's vehicle. And at 4:30, Officer Rohr begins the DWI investigation at the police station.
You said at the police station.
Yes, Your Honor.
So there's no investigation on the scene.
There is no DWI investigation on the scene.
Okay. So it's your motion.
I don't know if the state is stipulating that this was a warrantless arrest. I mean, if not, then I can just call the officers and establish that.
You don't stipulate that it was a warrantless arrest.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
As
Floor is yours.
witness, the state calls Chad Johnson to the stand.
Do you mind grabbing? Is he in the courtroom or is he outside? Please come up to the stand and raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay? Please mind taking a seat. If you don't mind, please speak loudly, clearly. If you hear the word objection, just stop until it's addressed and then you may continue. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the floor is yours.
Can you please state your full name for the record?
Chad Johnston,
And what do you do for work?
employed by the Pasadena Police Department,
How long have you been doing that for?
6 years.
Do you ever have any specialized training and experience for that?
That's the police academy.
Can you kind of briefly describe what that training involves?
Police academy?
Yes, just
Penal code, transportation code, CCP, DWIs, traffic stops, felony clearing. Basically anything that we could use on our government patrol.
And do you have any other experience prior to working at Pasadena Police Department?
In law
In law enforcement, yes.
Yeah.
And approximately how many DWI investigations have you had?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Approximately how many DWI investigations have you been a part of in your career?
Hundreds.
And do you recall a particular DWI investigation you were a part of on July 7th, 2024?
So,
Specifically, how did you come to be involved in the incident we are here for today?
our dispatch received a call for service while a subject passed out at a intersection behind the wheel.
And can you clarify what you mean by pass out?
Subject was inside his vehicle in a medium lane travel, asleep at the driver's wheel.
And what did you see when you got there?
Once I got there, their vehicle in the number 2 lanes for eastbound traffic on Southmore, stopped, driver was slumped over, asleep with loud music playing from the vehicle.
And what did you do after that?
I waited for an additional unit. Once my second backup unit arrived. He positioned his marked patrol vehicle in front of the suspect vehicle, so if the driver woke up, he wouldn't take his foot off the brake and roll into the intersection, causing a serious crash. Vehicle was on and didn't drive with the defendant's foot on the brake. And once he was all set in position, we attempted to wake up the driver.
Okay, and how did you go about doing that?
I'm sorry?
How did you go about doing that?
Well, we initially started with flashing our flashlights on him, banging on the window. That was unsuccessful. It got to the point where me and my backup officer began rocking the vehicle for several minutes before, or for a little while before the defendant woke up.
And did these facts at the time, did they indicate or raise your suspicions as to any particular crime that might be occurring?
Possible, yeah.
Why is that?
I mean, normally people do not fall asleep at the wheel while driving a motor vehicle, especially with their foot on the brake and vehicle still in drive. And then if someone does fall asleep, which has happened in the past, they usually wake up pretty easily and don't need officers rocking the vehicle from side to side in order to wake them up.
So you eventually woke up the defendant, correct?
Yes.
And what did you do after that?
Once I woke him up, he took his foot off the brake and rolled into my backup officer's marked patrol vehicle. Then once he was stopped in the patrol vehicle, he got him to open up the door. I turned the vehicle off and placed it in park and got him outside the vehicle.
And when you got him out of the vehicle, did you notice anything specifically about it?
I smelled a strong odor of alcoholic beverages emitting from his breath in person and he had slurred speech.
And what did you do next?
I requested a DWI task force officer come to the scene, if one was available.
And those signs that you said you observed when you made contact with the defendant, based on your training experience, what does that indicate to you?
Those are signs of intoxication.
You said you contacted a DWI officer, and after that, what did you do?
He was not available. He was occupied at the jail. Due to the vehicle being in moving line of travel, I arrested the driver for impeding the flow of traffic and transported them to the jail for the traffic offense and for the DWI officer to conduct a DWI investigation.
So you said earlier how many DWI investigations you've been a part of, but how many DWI investigations have you taken all the way through?
Very few. If I were to guess, probably less than 5.
And about how long would you say it takes you to complete a DWI investigation?
It would take me several hours.
And where was the scene in relation to the police station?
Block and a half away.
And how long did it take you to drive from the scene to the police station?
Less than 5 minutes.
And can you just clarify, why did you decide to move the scene to the police station?
There are several reasons. One, it's safer to conduct the investigation in a controlled jail than it is to conduct a DWI investigation in the middle of the roadway, where anyone can come by, get hit or cause an accident, get involved in an accident. Conditions are better, flat, even jail floor as compared to roadways where they're kind of in the ground or anything like that. And then also, our DWI task force officer was occupied already, was unable to make the scene, and requested I meet with him at the jail.
State pass the loose, John.
Hold on a second. You said when he got out of the car, he stumbled back or crashed or something?
When he woke up, he took it, the vehicle was in drive with his foot on the brake. So once he woke up from us rocking the vehicle, he took his foot off the brake and rolled into my backup officers.
So it rolled in, it actually crashed into the other car.
Yes.
Okay, all right. That's the only thing I wanted clarification. Okay,
May I proceed?
please.
Good morning, sir. So can you describe in general your role in this investigation?
I was the first officer on the scene and I was one of the dispatch and responding officers to it.
Okay, and fair to say that he was in pretty deep sleep, right?
Sure.
And at the scene, very little time was spent with Mr. Alfaro, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, now, you said that you've done approximately 5 DWI investigations?
Yes, but that's what it was.
Okay, but you've done your NHTSA training,
Yes.
and you know that the second stage of the NHTSA training is called the personal contact stage, right?
Mhm.
Do you recall what that is?
I do not.
Okay. You know that in any investigation, it's important to spend time with the person that you're investigating and try to distinguish illegal from legal behavior, right?
Absolutely.
And in kind of big picture terms, that's one of the things that the NHTSA manual teaches you how to do, right?
Mhm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Because it's not illegal to drink and drive. It's only illegal to drink and drive while you're intoxicated, right?
I'm not necessarily having to drive my belt and detainer and other violations as well.
Well, we can agree that in not all.
About DWI, then yes, I would agree with you.
Okay. In general, not every time that somebody drinks after having consumed alcohol, not every time are they committing a crime, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, in this case, you were dealing with somebody who was deep asleep and was roused out of sleep, right? And it wouldn't be surprising if that person exhibited things like red eyes, right?
Yes.
Yes, it would not be surprising.
It would not be surprising.
Okay. That they appeared maybe a little bit disoriented, right? And you.
That would surprise.
All right. So in the time that you spent with Mr. Alfaro at the scene, that wasn't enough to distinguish whether the symptoms were from alcohol intoxication, possible alcohol intoxication, or just being roused out of a deep sleep, right?
I will not know. That's why I didn't arrest him for DWI right there.
I understand that, but in general, after such a brief amount of time, that wouldn't necessarily be enough to convince yourself that this is just a person that I've woken out of a deep sleep, right?
With other factors, I would disagree, but I mean, there's a possibility.
All right. Did you write an offense report in this case?
I wrote the supplement report.
One moment, Judge. Judge, may I confer with the prosecutor for a second? Oh. Yes. Okay, your offense report actually doesn't say anything about arresting him for impeding a roadway, does it?
My supplement does.
And Officer Rohrer, who was the lead officer in this case?
Officer Orr was the one that worked the DWI investigation.
Okay, and it was his understanding that the scene was being moved to the scene to continue the DWI investigation, is that right?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
If you know.
I don't know what Officer Rohr put in his report, but I'm not going to tell you what was in his report.
Pass the witness.
Anything further?
Yes, Your Honor, briefly, thank you. Officer, was this a public roadway?
Yes.
And were there any other facts that you said it initially that because of the defendant being asleep, you had suspicion of a DWI potential? Were there any other facts that gave rise to further suspicion of a DWI in the course of your
In my whole encounter?
Yes.
I mean, there was the strong odor of alcohol emanating from him. I spoke with him and asked him if he had anything to drink, to which he told me he had a few. So he had admitted to drinking, I could smell it on him, his sort of change.
Stay past the witness, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Jeff.
Someone mentioned something about an open container. Was there an open container or no?
No.
No. Okay, all right. You're excused. Subject to recall, anyone?
Subject to recall, please, Your Honor.
Okay, if you don't mind, please just waiting outside in the jury. Step. Okay, state any other witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Brian Rohr to the stand.
Great. Do you mind grabbing reputation?
All right, witness, stop being sworn in.
All right. Deputy Work, if you don't mind coming up to the witness stand and raising your right hand.
Sir.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, please do take a seat. If you don't mind to speak loudly, clearly, if you hear the word objection, just stop until we address it, and then you may continue. Okay? All right. State, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please state your full name for the record?
Brian Charles Ward.
And what do you do for it?
I'm a blue cross.
How long have you been doing that for?
About 4 years now.
And do you have to have any specialized training to do that?
Yes, sir.
Can you briefly describe that training?
The basic police officer's course is about 9 months of specialized training is mandated by TPOL, as well as I'm a member of our DWI task force as well, which is further specialized training.
And what kind of specialized training do you have to have that to be part of that DWI?
We would be part of our DWI task force. You have to have basic SSD, standard skills sobriety tests. You also would highly encourage you to take a ride course, as well as you have to be certified as a drug recognition expert within 1 year of your posting.
And how long have you been a part of the DWI task force specifically?
About 1.5 years.
And over what years are one as a police officer, how many DWI investigations have you been involved
say at this point, probably upwards of 150.
And generally speaking, I know everyone's different, but how long does it take you to complete a DWI investigation?
Generally about 2 to 3 hours.
And do you remember, do you recall the incident that we're here for today that occurred on July 7th, 2024?
Yes, I would.
And can you explain how you became involved with that?
With a call service, officers went out, found the reason was people stopped in a roadway. They had reasonable conceit to believe a DWI investigation needed to take place. I couldn't make it out to the scene, so the subject was actually transported up to our in-house room to meet.
And upon contact with the defendant, what did you notice?
I noticed eyes were red, also detected odor of alcoholic beverages and some slurred speech.
And what did you do next?
Next was going into the other DWI investigation, which would be Miranda's questioning and then sobriety tests.
Do you recall the specifics of your investigation as far as the scenarios for sobriety test?
As far as the specifics in clues specifically for the assessing?
Generally, yes. If I were to ask you about the clues that he exhibited, would you recall that?
I would probably have to reference the reporting.
So just have one moment, you want to? Sure. Let's do it. May I first witness you?
Yes.
Do you recognize? Go ahead.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's my original voice from the United States.
Would like to refresh your recollection. Officers, your recollection refreshed?
Yes.
So you made contact with the defendant and you said you began to carry out your investigation.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You made contact with the defendant and you began to carry out your investigation. What was the first step in that process?
So excuse me, I'm sorry. First step of the process would be and interview of the subject.
And what did you learn from that interview? Okay, we're gonna skip that. We're gonna go to the standardized field sobriety test. What was the first standardized field sobriety test you carried out?
Horizontal gaze distractions test.
Okay, and what is that test?
That test checks for the involuntary jerking of the eyes.
Okay. And what were the results of that test?
The result on that were 6 out of 6 validated groups.
What are those 6 clues?
The first one is a lack of smooth pursuit. Then following that is a distinct and sustained nystagmus, maximum deviation, and then the onset of nystagmus prior to 45 degrees.
And it's fair to say that he hit all 6 of those clues.
That is correct.
And what does that indicate to you?
That would indicate the presence of a substance in this system.
Can you? Would that indicate alcohol, potential presence of alcohol in the defendant's system?
Yes.
And what did you do next?
Next was the walk and turn test.
Okay. And what is the walk and turn test?
The walk and turn test is one of the psychophysical tests, where it splits the subject's mental and physical capabilities to possibly give a intoxicated individual would have difficulty splitting those.
And what were the results of this test that you did?
On this test, I observed 2 out of 8 validated groups.
And what did you do next?
Next was the one-leg stand test.
Great. And what is the one-leg stand test?
Again, it's another psychophysical test. Testing the subject's ability to count while balancing on one leg.
And what were the results of this test?
On this test, I observed 0 of 4 validated groups.
And what did you do after that?
After that would be reading the subject EIC 24.
Based on the totality of the circumstances, were you able to form an opinion on whether or not the defendant was intoxicated?
Based on the totality of circumstances and the results of my investigation, I did form an opinion that he was intoxicated and had lost the mental and physical capabilities required to safely operate one of them.
State best of the witness, Your Honor.
May I proceed, Judge? Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, I should say. You wrote in your report that Mr. Alfaro was transported to the Pasadena jail for further investigation after he was detained at the scene. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, so it was your understanding that he was transported to continue the EWI investigation, correct?
As moved my part of the investigation, yes, sir.
Okay, he wasn't under arrest or anything else as far as you were aware of?
As far as I know, when he was transported, he was placed under arrest for traffic offense.
All right. Now, you mentioned that it takes 2 to 3 hours to complete a DWI investigation. Can you break down exactly what goes into that?
So in those 2 to 3 hours in that estimation, I would be including initial contact of the subject, interview, observation, or possible interview of initiating officer, my interview with the subject, the SFSTs, as well as the collection of a forensic specimen and typing the report.
Okay, but really, when you're talking about an arrest, the relevant portion is usually much shorter than that, right?
That is correct.
So you're talking about maybe the personal contact stage and then the pre-arrest screening stage, right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Well, I mean, the point at which you get enough evidence to confirm that somebody's intoxicated or disconfirm that somebody's intoxicated is much, much shorter than 2 to 3 hours, right?
Yes,
Because that takes into account booking procedures and things like that, right?
correct.
Okay. Now, this wasn't a situation where there was an emergency going on, right?
No.
Okay. Even though you're the more experienced officer, Officer Johnson is actually certified to administer field sobriety tests and has done so in the past, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. There wasn't a language barrier or anything like that, right?
Not to my knowledge.
And in fact, the intersection where this all happened, I mean, there were parking lots, drugstore parking lots, places where DWI investigations are sometimes conducted, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, in other words, there was nothing to stop the DWI investigation from being conducted where it was there at the scene of the incident. Nothing that you can point to, is there?
As far as the performance of SFS teams, no.
So what was the reason for moving this investigation to the jail?
To bring him to a member of our DWI task force who is better suited to performance of the SFSTs and to provide a space more conducive to performance of the SFSTs.
Okay, but if you had wanted to, it could have been this, or if, not you personally, but if law enforcement in this case had wanted to, this investigation could have been pursued more diligently.
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
If there's a lot of sufficient space in a safe place, that again has sufficient space and level ground to perform the SFSTs, i.e. a space and level service more conducive to performing the SFSTs safely, then yes, it can be.
So it could have been done more diligently, correct?
It could have been possibly performed by the officer on scene.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Officer, approximately how long did this investigation take?
This investigation, in terms of interview and arriving at a decision of intoxication, I would say approximately 40 minutes.
And typically, are DWI investigations faster or slower if you or another member of the DWI task force conducts the investigation, rather than a member of patrol unit?
It is significantly faster.
State passes the witness, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, witness may be excused. All right, thank you, sir. State anything further?
Just arguing, Your Honor.
Okay,
Judge,
so you, hold on. You rest?
Yes, Your Honor, statement.
I'm going to admit a thumb drive with 2 body cameras and then the scene body camera. And I'm not going to publish this right now. I'm going to offer it as a part of the record. And I don't have anything to stick it with, but we can call this Defense Exhibit 1.
Have you seen this? Do you know what it is, State? And do you have any objection?
I mean, it's just body cam from the scene, we bring it to Your Honor.
Okay,
That should be.
all right. It'll be admitted. Defense 1?
Defense 1, Judge.
Okay.
And with that, we rest.
Okay. Argument.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state offers 3 arguments here. First is that, clearly under the traffic code, Officer Johnson had probable cause to arrest the defendant at the scene for the traffic violation. Upon arrival, the officer could clearly see that the defendant was parked in a moving lane of traffic, in violation of traffic code section 545-363, and 545.302. That arrest is clearly authorized under traffic code, section 543.001. And after that arrest, once the officer had transported the defendant, then a separate DWI investigation took place, which is clearly legal and proper and does not violate any of the defendant's Fourth Amendment rights. And the alternative, Your Honor, the state would also show that the officer articulated sufficient facts to rise to at least reasonable suspicion that the offense of driving while intoxicated had occurred. The defendant displayed a strong odor of alcoholic beverages, was asleep in his vehicle, and took significant effort to wake up from the officers. Also, the time of night was indicative, and the other facts that the officer suggested, such as slurred speech and the other surrounding circumstances. Furthermore, moving the investigation to the police station and the subsequent time it took to move the investigation. Furthermore, moving the investigation to the police station and the subsequent time it took to move the investigation was reasonable under the circumstances and served a legitimate law enforcement purpose. That purpose was to give the DWI investigation to an officer that would be more efficient at running the investigation. This purpose, this is supported by prior case law in Fleischer v. State, where, Your Honor, the Court of Appeals out of Fort Worth found that a 30 to 35 minute prolongment was reasonable under the circumstances for the express purpose of the officer handing the DWI investigation over to a specific DWI officer for the purpose of efficiency. Furthermore, Your Honor, the state in the alternative to that argument would also go to show that probable cause existed at the scene due to the totality of the circumstances and the signs of intoxication and the clear operational facts that the officer had at the scene rose to the level of probable cause for the officer to arrest the defendant for the offense of driving while intoxicated.
Can you come up real quick, Blaze? Come up, Mr. Demo, come up. Sure, on the record. Okay. As a lawyer, as a person who just works in general, I really take pride in what we do. You know, when we do stuff, we come prepared. This is not a joke, man. This dude that just came and testified now was a deer in headlights when you asked about the interview. Completely and wholly unprepared in every single way. So I don't give any credence to that testimony right there whatsoever. I mean, it's like, how are you going to come? This is not a joke. You know, we take this completely serious. You know, you come here, you can't even recite what happened. You can't even take 5 minutes to look at the damn report. You know, really. So that, no credence whatsoever. So what I'm going to do now is I'll take a look at the facts surrounding what happened on the scene, and I'm going to make a decision and see whether we go forward or not. But I'm floored how you're just going to come in and just kind of, here, let me just, you know, really, it's not a joke. It's a life on the line here. And I really take it seriously, and I'm just offended by it. So anyway, I don't need it.
All right.
Let me just take a look. I want to see that real quick. And then I'll have a decision here within a couple hours. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
May we be excused?
Please.
Right.
All right, lawyers, let's go. Just don't. Just it is what it is. You know, it just.
I'd love to repair things with them verbally. Condition signed and onboard.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, and we'll do, of course, come on. Yeah, ready? Yeah.
Judge, I have kind of an unusual situation. I have Jorge Gomez in the docket. Judge, I was trying to see if the state would do time served. I talked to Mr. Gomez about time served, and he doesn't want time served. He wants some sort of drug treatment. And he thinks he needs help with his alcohol addiction.
This computer goes any slower. He's currently in custody, right?
Yes, Judge.
I would say is, have we done the TRAS yet? Let's do that. That'll tell us how we best go forward. They may say IOP, they may say SATF, they may say something. I don't know.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
No, not even. I would say probably, what's today? Tuesday? We can probably have the TRAS done within the next 3 days.
Great.
So maybe Monday, we can get everything done.
Okay, roll it to Monday, Judge.
I'm gonna follow what that is.
Right.
Because they're the experts, not me, so.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
So I would say, Shator, whatever you think, Monday, Tuesday, whatever's, yeah, okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Counsel.
Morning,
Hey,
I'm approaching on Mr. Avalar.
okay.
DVD's been called to come over to Mr. Avalar's in custody. This is the gentleman from
Is
yesterday.
he still here?
He's still here, Your Honor. This is the gentleman from yesterday. Who I said I'd come in for.
Oh, right, okay. Blaze, what do you think? Are we waiting on DVD on this or no? Coming?
I can't. I'm emailing them right now. I know they were here.
Can you give me a little bit of time?
I can run and grab her and come right back if that works. I'll go grab the DVD process.
Yeah, go. Yeah, and that may be faster, more efficient. Yeah, for sure. Hi.
Hey, Judge, I'm
Good
here on
morning.
Jesus Montez.
Yeah, who?
Jesus Montez. I think it's on your docket. So,
This one's got bond violations, right?
okay, so the
The
original
case,
case
where
was
is it?
sent to ER2. And then we had a court date 1 week ago, and the judge said he needed to come in, and he set it for,
Where is he?
well, sorry, so the judge set it for a bond forfeiture for today, but then the clients and I went into ER2 on Thursday and got a PR bond for it.
He's supposed to be here today.
Judge, I am not sure how this setting got made. I wasn't aware of it before I woke up this morning and saw it there because we took care of it last Thursday, I thought.
Took care of what?
This warrant and these bond violations. We went to the judge in ER2 last week, so ER2 is
Comes
one
back
case,
to
but not the
me
other.
because he picked up a new case, so it doesn't. And where is Mr. Montez now?
Okay, so he actually works in Kansas and he
So
made
what
the
else?
strenuous
I'll
journey
set
back.
up For Friday.
Okay,
It's got to be here Friday. If he's not here Friday, I'm going to revoke both of his bonds.
okay.
If you don't mind letting him know, okay?
I'll let him know, Judge.
So as a courtesy, we'll give him to Friday, but if he doesn't come Friday, okay? Yes, ma'am. Thanks.
Attorney for Caleb Jones?
Are you ready?
I need your signature.
That's right, hold on. Are you ready? You have a plea too?
Oh, I didn't get your signature.
Judge, I'm so sorry. Are we able to release our witnesses?
Release, oh yeah, absolutely, sorry.
You're gonna use that right there. Just wait for her. She'll tell you.
Yeah, we're no one, Judge.
Get your right down, blue light person, right down.
Okay, so who is this gentleman?
Fisher, Your Honor. Fisher, Jason Fisher.
Morning, Mr. Fisher.
Hello. Your Honor.
Jason Fisher, right? Okay. So, Mr. Fisher, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense, you're also charged with failure to stop and give information. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail with 72 days credit on the DWI second, and they're going to dismiss, I would assume, the FSGI.
And there's a kind of felony that was keeping him in, it's keeping him in custody.
Got it. Is this what you want to do? You need to understand, Mr. Fisher, that from now on, if you pick up any more DWIs, you'll be looking at yet another felony. We're not asking for much, man. All we want our streets to be safe. Here, we have a second DWI and a crash. What's it going to take? Kill someone? You know? Do you want to end up with a 50-year sentence? Next time you ever get into a car and you get pulled over, all officers do is they look at your record, and that's all they care about. So if they pull you over, they see the DWI, FSGI, DWI, possession, and they come to you and they smell alcohol or dope. What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to be nice? Probably not. Don't get into a car if you've had anything to drink. You understand? Are you sure? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. This will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, second offense? I will find you guilty. I am going to suspend your license for 2 years. Do not drive until you get a license. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck.
Judge, I've got
Yeah, he's in custody, so I mean, it's.
David Gonzalez on the docket today. I just got appointed this morning. He tested positive. I'm just gonna see if I can get
For
it.
what? Where's Mr. Gonzalez?
We have alcohol, THC, amphetamines, and methamphetamines.
Hence the. Where's Mr. Gonzalez now? He's not. Do you know if he's coming back?
You should really double check and see when it's-
So, Mr. Reed, leave me your cell phone. If he comes back, I'll text you and you can just come via Zoom. That way you don't have to sit there and wait.
His test results were entered over an hour ago. Okay.
So if he doesn't appear back here, because we told him to come back, then I'm going to revoke his bond. But if he does, I'll reach out to you. So here, you leave me your cell phone if you don't mind, and then I'll text you. I'll let you know. Hey, hi.
We are approaching on Mr. Avalar.
Okay.
And I believe the defense wanted to ask about bond conditions, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor. So yesterday, I believe you gave him a $5,000 bond. He picked up a new offense for violating bond conditions. Your Honor, it turns out that the facts are that he had stayed away, the woman who he was in this issue with, her house caught on fire, burned to the ground. She called him asking for assistance. He said, hey, I don't know. I don't think I can be talking to you. And then 2 days later, she got into a car accident where her vehicle was totaled. And she said, please, I have nowhere to go. Can you help? We said, look, I'll help you find some place to go and I'll drive you there. And that's it. In the midst of driving her there, he was pulled over for no registration.
Calls Murphy's Law is what it's
And
called.
she said, I've got bad juju.
You know?
The state confirmed all this.
Yes, Judge. So,
Go ahead and bring him out. Avalar.
Judge, the prosecutor on the case did call the complainant. She pretty much gave nearly the exact same story of her apartment burned down. She was just trying to get a ride. They have not had contact up until this point. So we are not ready to offer a plea today because it is a new case.
Sure.
But we are okay with the PR bond at this point, just given the circumstances and the facts.
What do we do about conditions?
Conditions, we would still like to keep that no contact in place. It seems like they didn't have an issue up until this point with it. So we would just reinstate that no contact.
I will ask for a short reset, Your Honor, but from speaking with the CW, she communicated to me that the whole thing was a misunderstanding. She feels safe around him, and honestly, she'd like for them to be able to have contact. The way she communicated to me, the initial situation was they were arguing. A police officer was coming by, so she flagged him down so she could stay away from him.
And then while talking to the officer, she showed him like, look at this message. It says it's gonna do this to me. But that's in the course of how they normally communicate to each other. And she didn't feel afraid. The officer just took it to that next.
How about the assault we talking, happened in the assault?
So Judge, I believe the case for us right now is a terroristic threat. So we're just looking at the terroristic threat
Morning.
charge.
What's jail?
Tiring.
Sucks, right? It's supposed to suck. That's what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do. You can't do stuff on your own and think that good things are going to happen. It's what I was telling your lawyer. It's called Murphy's Law. What can happen will happen. I get that you may be trying to help someone, but a court order is a court order. And when you don't follow them, bad things happen. And that's why I'm saying, you know, I mean, maybe it's divine intervention that like you get pulled over right on the day that you're trying to do this. So really. Now, both of them are in agreement for you to get a PR bond because really, it's not a capital case. But you have to understand that court orders are court orders and they're still there. If you want them taken off, if you want to do something different, you have a lawyer and you ask a lawyer to help you out. But you just can't do stuff on your own and expect good things to happen. Now, state is still asking for you not to have contact with this person and as of right now. So I'm going to give you a PR bond now because they're both in agreement. I'm telling you now, you do this again, you will not get another one. I promise you on everything that's holy. Do you understand? If you want something, ask. We can always address it. We can always fix it. Just don't do stuff on your own. That's when it goes sideways.
Sir.
Do you have any questions? Okay, so I'll grant you a PR bond. We need it on both cases, I think, right? So do you mind filing a new no contact order now? No weapons, no contact. Don't for the moment. Perhaps time will heal all wounds. Perhaps after some time, you know, after she speaks to the complaining witness, things can change. Just don't do it again. All right?
Judge, I believe there is a order for emergency protection in your queue. It was filed the 30th, so it should be in there. Do you want me to file another one?
It's 255-1405. That's the initial terroristic threat.
Yes, there was a protective order signed on February 13th.
And then
You okay with that?
he's made bond.
Okay, done.
Made bond on the BPO already.
Oh, right. So we'll just leave, and I didn't do anything to the VPO. So we'll just give a PR bond on the terroristic threat.
Reinstate the PR bond.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And so just a reinstatement on the.
Whatever's easier. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we good? Okay. Thank you. So hold on, let me take, okay, we're good. All right.
Thank you. Have a good one.
I'm here on Alexander Storval.
Okay.
Come
up. Good to see you.
I know, good to see you.
Been a
too.
while, huh?
I know.
We sent him for a test.
Yes.
Yes, judges presumptive for morphine.
Morphine.
Judge, he broke his arm and he's on Tylenol with codeine and he got out of the hospital March 28th and they had also given him stuff there. And we do have a prescription. So I don't want you to be upset about that. You can be upset about other things, but not that.
How long? Because they don't give that very much now at all, if ever, are they giving these kind of. So I'm going to test you like crazy to ensure that you're not using. I'd like a copy of the prescription. I want to know how many pills there are so that we know how long he's taking it. Because if he's testing positive for weeks upon weeks, then it's unacceptable. If I find that you're using, if I find that you're using alcohol, if I find that you're a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. Do you understand? I will do everything in my power to protect my community at all costs. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. Do you understand? So he gets tested weekly from now on so that we know how much he's using. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch. Or if she tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you pick up a new case, you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand? If I find that you drive, that would be the absolute worst, and you're looking at a possible contempt charge. You understand? Okay?
Judge, if I could ask one thing, I wasn't here for bond conditions and there's got an ankle monitor.
So, right. He was cramped, so he's not using alcohol. I put a GPS on him so he's not out in the middle of the night because I don't want him out in the middle of the night as well.
Okay, so it was just he works at a mall and he sometimes closes at 9. So it's just 9 to 6. I was just saying, could we make it 10? Because if you close, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Judge.
Good luck. Hi, you ready? Rock and roll.
John Nelson.
Say Nelson?
Nelson.
Nelson.
Nelson. Been the other than that. Little holdover. Morning, Judge.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
It's
Mr. Nelson has a warrant out of Florida. He did have a local case that was resolved this morning.
just dismissed. Yeah, today.
Yeah, it was actually, I think.
No, he
Sorry.
pled. Right, okay.
He pled on that. He previously had signed a waiver 7 days ago, I think, but
March
he-
31st. March 31st.
March 31st.
Oh, yesterday.
Last Friday. But anyway, his value of time is probably exaggerated. He has a warrant for Florida. He's been picked up on this before in Tennessee, and they didn't extradite him from Tennessee. They released him after 3 days. He's back in jail here in Texas now, obviously, for the same charge out of Florida, and he is a cancer patient, and he's wanting you to grant him a PR bond so he can go back to Florida.
That's where I was heading.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it just so happened that you
Sir.
and you got a failure ID as well.
But the failure ID was, they pulled a gun on the guy they were looking for and I was at the crosswalk. I wasn't there. They weren't stopping me. They stopped another guy. They were waiting for 3 days or whatever to get him. And then yes, sir.
It doesn't matter.
This is not our first time being here on this case, Amy,
He's previously had a fugitive case in Tennessee for this.
for this same charge.
Well, just a fugitive case in general. I can't say.
So that was in Tennessee. Now he's wanted out of Florida.
No. He had this exact same proceeding in Tennessee.
Meaning he was a fugitive in Tennessee because of Florida.
Yes, he was incarcerated in Tennessee and had a hold on him from Florida. They chose not to extradite him at that particular time, and he was released 3 or 4 days there.
How long ago was that?
How long ago was that, sir?
5, 6 years ago.
And after 5 to 6 years ago, you still haven't taken care of the case.
That was during pre-COVID and we were coming back from Michigan and we were on our way down and we stopped in Tennessee. I started working at the hotel And they came in and they said, out of the clear blue, looks like you got a warrant. And I go, what? Okay, so they took me in, they ran everything, they held me for 3 days and they let me loose. They didn't, there was no new charges or nothing.
What's he wanted for?
It's domestic violence.
In Florida, he's wanted for a couple different warrants on bond revocation for domestic battery by strangulation, violation of pretrial for domestic battery, violation of pretrial for domestic battery by strangulation, failure to appear for domestic battery, strangulation, and grand theft.
That was back in
And it's been open for
12 years.
and you still won't go back?
No, we were gonna go back. That was the whole thing. I was in
The
Florida.
only thing I'm waiting for you to say is that you were abducted by aliens that prevented you
I'm
from.
not gonna lie to you, sir, but we were going back. When COVID hit, actually, I was in Florida. That's where we went from Michigan to Tennessee, then Tennessee down to Florida during the pre-COVID. And we were in, I think Pensacola. And we were there for like 3 months and we were waiting for the COVID to go, to stop, but it just didn't end. So I ended up talking to a gentleman that had plenty of work for me across the country to go to all of his hotel properties to fix them and find out why they were failing, why were they not making any money and what was going on. So that's what I've been doing.
Does Florida really want him? Are they gonna come get him? Are we just playing games here? You know, because if they really want to get him, I'm gonna hold. But if they're not gonna come get him, then I'm not gonna hold him. We have enough people in our jail as it is. So let's do this. The problem is, Mr. Nelson, you don't learn your lesson. You've repeatedly been arrested on this charge and they've told you to go back and you refuse to go back. So I can't, in good conscience, give you a bond when you refuse to comply with court orders.
I understand
You
that.
just don't want to do it. You want to do what you want to do. And then, hey, if I happen to get arrested, they're not going to come get me anyways. So
No, I don't say that at all.
you don't say it,
Right.
but your actions say
I
something
understand.
different.
I understand that. I do.
When people tell me stuff, it goes in this year, it goes in, what
I know.
matters are actions.
I understand.
So
With regards to Florida, I'm happy to check up on that. He does also have other warrants from other states. He has a probation violation from Michigan and also intimidation.
They're not
hopscotching with states, man.
Oh, they already told the jail, they already made the call, they're not coming, they don't want nothing to do with me. That's already been
They don't
determined.
have a hold file right now, but he does have the open warrants.
And those are from 2009. And I served my time on all of it, but it's just,
So
I
let's do
understand.
this. Let's roll it to tomorrow. Please reach out to Florida and see, do you really want him? If you do, here he is. If not, can we, really?
We'll be back tomorrow.
thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Nelson.
Hey, I love your show.
I don't have a show.
I watch on.
I like you too.
too.
Superstar.
Okay, Mr. Kim.
Judge, I'm going to bring out Mr. Alexis Jones. We're going to be asking for a bond. I'd like to hear what's going on. That's that one. And then we have a second case that we'll talk about after.
Are both fugitive cases?
Yeah, but one of them we have to talk off
Okay,
record.
not a
and
problem.
stuff. So I'll let other counsel go first.
Want to talk about that one first?
Want to do that one first?
I'm comfortable with whatever order you.
She's on the other side though. She.
Need her?
I think so. I think she should
So
hear
let's,
what's going
I
on.
guess we'll wait.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes, Judge.
So I emailed her, let's see. Okay, so is he here?
Yes, Judge. She's in the audience.
Come up. Okay. Hi. I don't know if you think that this is a joke, but you've been given a very, very generous program that if you complete successfully, they will dismiss this case. You have tested positive. Is it multiple occasions or just once? This is Mr.
I'm sorry.
Canales.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Mr. Torrey, you're killing me.
That's my fault.
Please just deposit.
How many times?
3 times.
That is unacceptable. And if it were me, we'd be done. They see fit to put you into an intensive outpatient treatment. You have 2 weeks to enroll. And I'm going to tell you right now, you ever test positive again, I'm going to immediately set your case for trial. You get no more resets. Do you understand?
Yes.
I want it tested 2 times a week for the remainder. Okay? You will now be tested every Monday and every Thursday for the remainder of this program. And if you use again, and I don't care what it is, and I don't care what your excuse is, you will be set for trial.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Is it okay if we test in the region or would you like?
No, I'm okay, of course. I don't care where, as long as he's doing it 2 times a week.
Okay.
No, I got it.
Judge, we'll be bringing out Mr. Alexis Jones.
Shreya, you want to talk to me while we're waiting?
Yes, it's super quick, Judge. I was appointed on Terrell Scherer, who is in custody back in February, and he bond forfeited, never had contact after. I don't mind handling his case. It's just I'm out until Monday and he's in custody. So I'm hoping we can maybe roll it to tomorrow since it's late and appoint him a new attorney that's there that can maybe handle it.
Okay. Not a big
Okay,
deal.
I filed a motion to withdraw, but I don't see that it was accepted. So I just want to make sure. Ray, do you have it?
He's putting in the queue now, Shreya.
Okay, perfect. And then Victoria, I know it's late. I'm sorry. It popped up.
Judge, I'm gonna make, this is our second time rolling. I'm gonna just request an attorney and see.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Is he back there?
Yes, he's back there. He was there yesterday.
Got it. Okay, all right, Shreya, you're good.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye. You want to go through the list while we're waiting? I know, but we're waiting on them to bring out.
Judge Carl wants to approach on page 2, Adame. 190 days old.
How is this still waived?
Judge, he's got a felony case that's pending in the 496 District Court. They've got an offer there that is for deferred with dismissal of the misdemeanor case. But that case, I'm not representing him on that case. He's represented by Jill Wells on that case. And that case is set for May the 20th.
But do we know anything that's going to happen?
I don't know that the offer was relayed. I don't know anything of that sort.
It's now 190 days old. That would pick it up.
It was reset before because it hadn't been indicted. I think it got indicted now. And that's why it's reset for non-issue.
You know what's going to happen?
I don't, Your Honor. I do see that felony had part of the plea was to dismiss our case. The same
Are
transaction.
they still missing evidence?
Not from what I can see, Your Honor.
Okay, so
Except for
yes,
There will, and in the dash, it says dash, but there's no dash. It's HPD.
Yeah,
They're not
it's
gonna
dash.
so I guess we'll set it for trial after the May date. If he doesn't go, then I'm putting him to trial then.
Okay.
And I can't just, it's 190 now.
Whatever
By
you
then
want
it's
to
going to
do,
be, another 60 days, be 260,
You're cool.
270.
As we get closer to that, I would reach out to felony and say, look, I mean, kind of at a go or no go period here. So.
Yeah, so let me see, that would be May, they're set for what? May 20th.
Yes.
So May 27th is your trial setting. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
all right, have fun. All right, good morning, sir.
Judge, this is Mr. Alexis Jones.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. Come on up. So it looks like you have a fugitive case. Oh, you picked up 3 cases. You picked up a fraudulent use of ID, less than 5 items. You picked up a theft case, and you have an out-of-state fugitive case.
One of them has been dismissed, Judge. The fraudulent use of items has
Saw
been
that.
dismissed. So technically, he's only got the theft pending and the fugitive case pending.
Mr. Kim, enlighten us.
Your Honor, this defendant is wanted out of Broward County, Florida for felony theft. The state would be opposed to a bond. There are 47 cycles of criminal history in the past 5 years alone, and these are just convictions.
47 pages of criminal history in 5 years?
47 cycles, Your Honor. For pages, it is 46 pages of criminal history, including, well, the California one's old, so I'm not going to count that one, but just in the last 5 years alone, and these are just.
It was not 47 in the last 5 years.
Hey, don't talk. I mean, we're just trying to, the thing is, Mr. Jones, is I have a very limited amount of time to try to get to know you. Everyone that comes in front of me tells me it's gumdrops and rainbows and little bunnies jumping in the woods. But the way I really get to know you is the paper, because that tells me who you are, right? If you're a dangerous person, if you're a person that I'm going to let go and you're going to continue with the criminality, I have enough trouble sleeping as it is. I don't want more blood on my hands. I don't want something else that's going to keep me up at night. So that's why. Well, but this is how we get to know you. And he's telling me you got 46 pages of criminal history.
Your Honor, in the past 2 years, he's had 3 failure to appears of multiple cases. He's had 2 habitation trespass convictions, a DWLI, prostitution, battery, criminal damage, failure to appear, possession of drugs, felony, obviously, resisting. But in the 21 some odd years, is the 47 cycles of different offenses, and I just stopped scrolling after 2020.
How many failure to appears do we have?
3, Your Honor. And this one itself is a no-show, or according to the transmission.
Hey, John, could I say something?
Sure.
Okay, with the one you talking about with the failure to appear, I feel that was nonsense because of the simple fact that I flew from Fort Lauderdale up here after they said I had a warrant, and I went to court a couple of days before that. And is that documented, sir? You can see that?
Judge, I will say this. He did explain that
How
to
old are
me.
you, Mr. Jones?
I'm 40 years old, sir.
You're 40.
Yes, sir.
How many cases has he picked up in total?
That he's been charged with. If you give me 10 minutes, I can count them, but it's not low. I mean, I can start from 2004.
So theoretically, for every year you've been born, you've had a case.
I have a
You're
question.
40 years old, and you have around 46 pages of criminal history. So literally for every year you've been born, you've like picked up a case. And not only that, you've got multiple failures to
Sometimes you don't think the jurisdiction have felt me?
Huh?
You don't think the jurisdiction have felt me?
But the problem is, at some point, your actions become your own. You now have with us, you've picked up a theft case here in Harris County. You've got an open case in another jurisdiction. You've got pages upon pages. So at what point is it on you?
When you pay your debt to society, why do they keep using it against you? I pay my debt to society for those.
Because it continues.
For those hires, okay.
Continues to happen. At some point, DAs are like, jail just doesn't work anymore. So that's when we got to go to prison, because this dude.
But prison don't help guys. That don't make them better. That make them worse. Instead of tormenting them and sending them and feeding them to the wolves, y'all should sit down with that person to find out what's going on to help that person. Instead of prison not helping nobody, prison is not.
I can't tell you how many stories I have read of people who get degrees, college degrees, even become a lawyer while they're in prison. So if you want it to help, then it will. But you got to want it. If you
One better than me, Your Honor.
If you have,
you know what the sad thing about it is, in the state of Florida with me, and that's why I left. Something happened, and I have a conflict of interest against the police. So now they're jigging at me every chance that they get. But it's crazy. He's saying I have a warrant, and I flew from there after that warrant was pro se. Pro se that they said I have. I flew from Fort Lauderdale all the way to Houston, flew back down there, and flew back. And they said I have a warrant, and I flew and went to court for another charge down there.
I don't get it.
And I went inside
I
the
don't know.
court.
I don't know how that happened, but it's not supposed to. You know.
So who's the system failing? If I have a warrant, you mean to tell me they're gonna let me in their courtroom, attend to my judge, see my judge, everything, and let me go, and let me get back on the plane to fly back here? Mind you, I flew from here and flew back down there. They let me do all of this with a warrant?
I can't explain that. I can't.
So that's the system failing somewhere, somehow. That's not me.
Let me talk to the judge real fast.
But Mr. Jones, if you have this woe is me attitude, it's never going to change. It's never going to change.
I'm not helping. It's not helping. Y'all not helping society. Y'all always blaming me and this and that and the other. Prime example, he's saying, oh, he got prices from here. And he went to call stuff off that he said, well, only stopping from 2022, and he going past 2022. And I'm like, yo, but hey, but that's what the prosecutor do. He just doing his job.
Right, that's what he's doing.
Judge, if I may, a couple points. First, if he's finished up the cases that he has had in his history, he's had a history, okay, he's had a history. If he's paid his debt to society, like he says, if he's completed what he needs to do for those cases, that really shouldn't be relevant here. I would argue that in front of you, this is his first time being in front of you, right? And it looks bad that he has criminal history. Yes, I get that. But if we were to just focus on whether or not he knew about this case, he's telling me he got on a flight, came over here, and it's a great question. If that happened, he would have had a warrant pending and he would have been arrested. So
when was the warrant issued, do you know?
March 3rd, 2025, but because it's a domestic flight, and obviously I don't work for TSA, I don't work for Department of Homeland Security.
Just got issued.
Just March 3rd, 2025, Judge.
Your warrant was just issued in March of this year. So
And I flew
30 days ago, it got issued.
And I flew March 10th back up here.
So Judge, if that's the case, it hasn't been like he's been missing his responsibilities with
And
this
I went
case.
to court.
It's less than a month.
And he could
that
also
he's had
see
this
that I
case
went to
pending.
court. I went to court before March 3rd.
That's why it's a failure to appear, which is.
How? I went to court. I went to court before then.
Judge, the warrant has
I was
been
in the
issued
courtroom.
we're at April 1st, less than a month. And so it's not like he's been running. If the warrant's just been issued on March 3rd, I would ask that we afford this man an opportunity to make this right. He hasn't messed up in your eyes. Yeah, he's messed up in the past, but as far as the fugitive case is concerned, I'm asking for an opportunity for him to go to the demanding jurisdiction. And then if he messes up, okay, well, I don't have much to say after that. But just throwing his history out there, it doesn't mean he doesn't deserve a chance.
I stand by the no bond. He has assaultive history as well, and it shows in the message that we received from Florida is that he has violent tendencies, obviously reflected by the assaultive history, along with and I don't have to go ad nauseum, but the significant criminal history that he has.
When were the FTAs? How long ago?
The most recent failure to appears, one moment, Judge. There's one from May 4th, 2023. There's one from December 7th, 2023. There's one from.
It's not on this case, though. Those are separate cases. We're not talking about on this case. Are we?
To be clear, it's not on this case, but.
Obviously not on this case. But the problem is that it keeps happening, and I can't continue to.
Sir, it's not keep happening, sir. Sir, this warrant that he said, sir, I went to court. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have another open case, and that open case is why I flew back down there. Went to court, finished court. They said I have a warrant. I go to the warrant district. They said I have no warrant. Leave the warrant district, get on the plane to fly back up here, and they said I had a warrant before I even flew on the plane back down there. So how could I fly?
Mr. Jones, even if I were to set you a bond.
Okay, no problem. Hey, take me back there, man. Can't about this shit, man.
Easy money. There you go.
So for the second one, we're gonna be, well, actually, it's gonna be Ricardo's request, but
Yeah, Judge, on the,
If you want me to take it off, I will.
yeah, on the second one, let's take it off. I'm concerned about HIPAA stuff and.
Ask them to bring him back.
Yes, Judge.
Vic, you want to go through the list?
Yes, Judge. Oh, no, sorry. No, my person is, territorial. Judge. Are you ruling a different day?
What?
No, it was 24/7/70.
Later. Anytime. Later, tomorrow. Pack it up. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin.
Page 10, Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah, he knows show. 5001.
Next one is page 11. Gonzalez Romero. Leventhal said he was.
5001.
Page 19. Bottom of 19. She came in late, she's here.
Is that her?
Yes.
yeah, I think we want you next door.
You appoint her a new lawyer?
I just got it. At lunch.
Hey, can you appoint her a new
Yeah,
lawyer?
we're normally here.
Yeah.
I just want to know why I'm trying to withdraw the case. Like, why do they
A
withdraw?
new lawyer? On, Nieves?
Okay.
It's addictive prosecution.
Afternoon, Judge. I have Mr. Rubio.
Okay.
It's a MAJ judge. Get your thoughts on this one.
And Your Honor, let me know whenever you're ready.
Tell me.
So it looks like based on the MAJ, I mean, there's fees, but the two, technicals really would be the CSR hours and then the failure to attend.
Education.
That's it. From what I can see.
Yes, so he's been on probation since March 5th. He's completed 50 WI safety course. He was enrolled twice.
Whoa. You said he completed a,
A driver safety course.
okay, I just said DWI education class.
Sorry.
Edu-
They enrolled him into effective decision making in October and November, and he failed to show both times. And he still hasn't enrolled in effective decision making or completed the community service. And his probation was supposed to expire on March 4th.
So 30.
30 days. Talk to him.
Okay.
Judge, this is